What is up, world? My name is Michael,
I'm Daniel.
and we're about to get a new channel started, and we're gonna call ourselves the Ultimate Feuding Championship,
It's because I hate him. Because I hate him so much.
something like that. So basically, what we're gonna be doing is we're just gonna be talking about the world of the UFC because we're both really big fans. But what do you do?
Yeah, Mike got me into UFC, and I've never had the same IQ since. Significantly lower.
Okay, so what we're going to be doing is, when the fights come up, we're going to be talking about predictions and all that. But now, just to get started, we're just gonna talk. So right now, we're getting prepped up for UFC 162, and we're watching Chris Weidman versus Tom Filthy Lawler. Is it Filthy? Yeah, it's Filthy.
I'm straight, but if Chris Weidman said that it would help him in his fight against Anderson Silva, I would let him butt fuck me. How about you, Mike? Would you do that?
Yeah, probably.
In a heartbeat?
Yeah, in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
So basically, we live in the Bay Area, and we went to we went to the UFC on Fuel Card where he knocked out Mark Munoz, and we're very big Chris Weidman fans, and we hate Anderson Silva. We don't like him. I mean, I don't know about you. I respect the guy, but I just don't like him. I just want him to lose.
Anderson Silva is very good, but Hitler was also a very good public speaker. I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay, so anyways, well, obviously we're both picking Weidman in this fight, but you know what's one of the interesting facts about this fight is that out of all of Anderson Silva's title defenses, it doesn't have to be that close. It's picking me up.
It's barely picking.
It's picking me up. So anyways, for the odds for all of Anderson Silva's fights, I think I'm ballparking this, but it's like, what was this? Okay, let's go from UFC 93. Okay, Forrest Griffin, he was a 6-1 favorite, and then Damian Maia, he was also, I think he was a 6 or 8-1 favorite, and then when he fought Sonnen for the first time, he was like a 7-1 favorite. Velport 3-1, Okami 6-1. Oh, that's a Darce if I've ever seen one.
Damn.
And then who did he fight after Okami? He fought Sonnen again, and then that was
nicer. That was nicer odds that time.
yeah, that was like I think that was 2.5 to 1 or something like that. And then
Chris
and-
Weidman's Tom Lawler.
yeah, because he's got choked out. But then he fought Bonner, and that was the famous 16-1 I think favorite, 16-1 favorite. And then now in this fight, I think Weidman's like 1.5 to 1 or something like that. It's not even. He's still an underdog. Don't get me wrong, but he's a low underdog. He's not like. I mean, odds makers are getting him a chance. What do you think about that?
I think it's very astute to give him a chance because, as American hero Chael Sonnen pointed out, there's one way to beat Anderson Silva, and that's put him on his back and don't give him any room. And if there's anyone in the UFC, at least in the middleweight division, that can put Anderson Silva on his back and elbow him in the face repeatedly, that's Chris Weidman.
That was also Chael Sonnen, though, but look how that went,
Yeah, but Chris Weidman doesn't need testosterone replacement therapy to do it, so at least we hope not.
No, I mean, Weidman's clean, obviously. He's definitely clean. I mean, it's just the fact that he's a young guy. And then look at also this, too. He's 5-0 in the UFC, and he's got 3 finishes. Well, Mark Munoz was the second round, but they're all first-round finishes except for the Mark Munoz fight. And all those fights, he had a full training camp. The full training camp. And then the fights he took on short notice, the Alessio Sakara fight, he took that on, I don't know how short notice, but he looked good in the fight. He just didn't get a finish. And then the Damian Maia fight, he looked bad, but the Damian Maia fight,
We don't usually talk about that one.
yeah, but the thing is, I think, a lot of people give him shit for that, but I think it was pretty impressive because of, he took the fight on 11 days notice, and he cut I think 20 pounds in that short amount of time, and he still went out and beat one of the top middleweights in the world. That's pretty impressive if you ask me. It's just, if he could do that, I mean, Damian Maia is no joke. And look at him at welterweight. He's a fucking beast at welterweight. You know?
Speaking of welterweight, UFC, what is it, 165, 4 with GSP and Johnny Hendricks.
Oh, five. Wait,
UFC
64 is Grant Henderson.
64 is Grant Henderson.
65 is Jones Gustafson. 66 is JDS Kane 3. 67. That's it.
Jesus, 167.
Yeah. So we got a while for that, but man, that's gonna be.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. Johnny Hendricks is going to hit GSP so hard, he's going to wake up asking for directions to Toronto. But, of course, unfortunately, those directions are going to be in French, so Johnny Hendricks, as is per his American duty, will have to hit him again for speaking French in his presence.
I mean, do you honestly think Johnny Hendricks would win that fight?
No, not at all. Johnny Hendricks is good, very exciting fighter, good wrestler, good knockout. GSP is a ninja who can deadlift a car. So good luck, Johnny.
Just a note to the listeners out here: if you hear, we're not smoking a bong, we're just smoking some hookah, just talking. That's really it. So just in case if you hear that and you're curious, but yeah,
We'd be talking about cereal if we were smoking out of a bong, not UFC.
but yeah, are there any other fights announced for 167?
167. Here, I'll pull up the card.
I don't think there is anything. Because that's like one thing. Because I know it's gonna be in
That's hella
Vegas.
far off.
Yeah, it's gonna be in Vegas because they're not doing it in Canada anymore.
Yeah.
But I think we just put the mic right here. It would be good.
Yeah. Well, hopefully. We'll see how it turns out. This is, again, only a preliminary episode.
Ha ha.
Yeah.
Stay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know.
Events. UFC 167.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, they don't even know where they're gonna put it in Vegas. They just know it's in Vegas.
It'll probably be MGM Grand or something like the same
Yeah.
shit as always. They're not gonna pull a special event out in Vegas. It's gonna be the same fucking thing.
Yeah, there hasn't been anything at MGM since. Silva Weidman will be the first one, and then there'll be a long break until 67 for MGM.
Well, are you saying MGM in general or Vegas?
MGM in general. I'm taking a look at the.
Well, then what was the last fight at MGM?
Silva Weidman's gonna.
160. 160 was at MGM, wasn't
160 was at MGM?
Or was that Mandalay?
I think that was at Mandalay.
Just go pull up the fight. Search what UFC 160.
Here, I have all the events right here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. 160
Was MGM.
MGM, yeah.
What was the last one at Mandalay?
Mandalay. Nothing scheduled upcoming at Mandalay. And
There you go.
there we go.
Ultimate
Ultimate
Fighter.
Fighter, Team Son and Team Jones.
That was at Mandalay?
That was at Mandalay Bay Event Center, apparently.
No way. That doesn't make sense. They did. Wow.
Yeah.
I guess they were expecting Uriah Hall to sell all those fucking tickets, man.
Speaking of Anderson Silva, Uriah Hall is like Anderson Silva, but like he doesn't know how to talk to girls. Anderson Silva, who really
How does
likes
that make
Power
sense?
Rangers.
How does that make sense?
He's very shy, okay?
Uriah Hall.
He likes Hot Wheels and Power Rangers. He gets scared in social situations. He also likes spinning back heel kicking people in the temple. It's also among his hobbies.
Adam Sella.
Adam Sella was pretty good until he got totally fucked up. You know?
Yeah, he did all right.
Mm-hmm. He managed to not get fucked up for 5 minutes, which is impressive.
4 minutes and 50 seconds, but who's counting?
Yeah. Well, not Adam Sella. He was unconscious.
The hookah's really loud when we smoke it. You see that? You see it?
That's excellent. That's very excellent. That's because we put the microphone on the same table.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's going to sound like we're fucking stoners.
Yeah, we're not stoners, we promise you.
Well, Mike is not a stoner, I promise you.
What were we talking about? That's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
No, we're good. We talked about Johnny Hendricks. How about TJ Grant and Benson Henderson?
Oh, I'm so excited for that. Let me just put this forward. I hate Benson Henderson with a passion. I don't think he deserved to win his championship fight, and 2 of his 3 title defenses, he didn't deserve to win either.
Let me say this. I was lucky enough to go to the I've been to all the fights at the HP Pavilion. I've been to 139, Fuel TV card, and then I went to the Fox 7 card. That was a lot. Fox 7 card. I mean, I'll tell you this right now. Gilbert Melendez won that fight. I didn't. When we were scoring that fight, I didn't even think it was that. Well, it was close, but
And I saw the replay later, and I'm like, no way. So TJ Grant's gonna finish him. I'm pretty sure. Most likely knockout.
I hope so.
No, Benson Henderson's decent, but there are a lot of lightweights that are better. Oh, we were just talking about Pettis. Pettis beat Benson Henderson. Pettis.
That was a close fight too, though. That was a really close fight. But up until that kick in the 5th round, that will do it. That will make that fight not very close anymore.
I really like TJ Grant's chances. In that fight.
TJ Grant really.
I'm gonna put money on TJ Grant.
TJ Grant really impressed me when he knocked out Gray Maynard. So I'm like, he's got a chance without a doubt.
So another note on 162. This I just realized today is that Chris Weidman actually has a reach advantage on Anderson Silva.
Half an inch.
Which is another measurement of Anderson Silva's, I might add. We're talking about his fingernails, right? Yeah, okay, cool. His dick's like 10 inches, so.
From the ground. From the burn.
That's
How about, okay, so one of my questions that I've been thinking about lately is, do you think that Anthony Pettis should stay at welterweight or lightweight? Or should he actually fight Jose Aldo?
I think any division where Benson Henderson is champion is a good division to win a title. It's not very difficult.
Yeah.
I think fighting Jose Aldo, he's doesn't have an excellent chance. Fighting Benson Henderson again, I think he'll cruise.
You know what, dude? But look at what we like the dog Benson Henderson, but he's been fighting the top guys. Look at what he did to Nate Diaz.
I wasn't that big on Nate Diaz either.
He dominant 50-43.
Yeah, it was a dominant fight
with a toothpick in his mouth. That shit, I don't even get that shit. That was just like
the toothpick. I didn't get the.
Remember
toothpick.
the toothpick?
I don't remember the toothpick.
He had the toothpick in his mouth. Well, I don't. That's like one of the myths or the conspiracy theories, I guess you could say.
How the fuck would you fight with a toothpick? You'd inhale it every time you breathed heavy.
Good question. Yeah, he fought.
Doctor stoppage. Toothpick to esophagus.
Yeah.
What?
There's photos of him when he's on top of Nate Diaz with a freaking toothpick in his mouth.
To be fair, Nate Diaz was probably high as shit at the time.
Yeah. We like the dog, the Diaz brothers, but
he went to a Diaz promotion.
I went to the War MMA. Nice reversal. He went to the.
We're watching Weidman and who else?
Jesse Bongfeld from UFC 131.
Yeah.
This was submission.
Weidman's currently fucking him up 1 minute into the first round.
He got clipped though. Yeah, but I went to the War MMA one. I went on Saturday. It was it was fun. It was very. I guess you could say unorganized. It was like. It was supposed to start at 5.
It's run by the Diaz brothers.
Yeah. It was supposed to start at 5 o'clock, and they started at 6 because they couldn't get the stream going. And then it was just what's funny is it was all right. I would go again just because it was fun, and the fighters were cool. There were some good fights, but some of those fighters that are making their debuts, I understand it's a very stressful situation making your MMA debut.
MMA is the hardest sport in the world. I've
These
done
guys
wrestling, water polo, track, fencing, and MMA looks far more difficult than any of that combined.
But
water polo is the greatest sport known to man, though. So
okay. But it was just some of these guys. They won, but they didn't look good. They were good. I mean, they were great fights, but it's just these guys couldn't. There's a couple guys. These guys couldn't even pull off a fucking guillotine. I mean, they had it, and they have the neck and all that, but they couldn't. They just couldn't finish it.
Didn't even occur to them to maybe pull guard at some point.
They're grabbing the neck, and then they're in side control. And I'm just like, I'm screaming. I'm like, pull guard and you'll win the fight. It's so, because they have arm in and everything. It's tight and they're squeezing, but they just won't pull guard. If they pull guard, they can pull on the neck, and that's.
Do you think that's the corner's fault? Because there's a lot of complicated jiu-jitsu technique to remember when you're tired.
It's a gi.
And the corner, I think the corner should have been like, pull guard, you know? And if the fighter doesn't listen to his corner, I mean, that's his problem. But,
yeah, absolutely.
But if the corner wasn't yelling, you could probably hear what the corner was yelling. There's only 700 people there.
There was not a lot of people. That's the other thing. That place seats like 10 or 15,000 people. There was, I don't think there was 1,000 people there. It was, so like, basically, if you look at the octagon, there were people sitting on the left of it, the right of it, and then the front and the back of it. And that was it. The left and the right sections, those were like behind the blue corner and behind the red corner, those were filled. Those were pretty full.
What was the best seats?
What?
Those are the best seats.
Yeah. And then we were sitting from the left, and we were sitting from the centers. Like, you know, it's kind of hard to explain, but yeah. Do you remember where we sat for? We were sitting. That's where we sat, where you could see both fighters on the left and the right of you. Yeah. And those two sections were pretty empty. They probably had 100 people in each of those. But then the center, I would say 200 each. But it was very empty. They didn't sell a lot of tickets. But you know, there you go. That was the first thing. Look at the first UFC.
Yeah.
How many people were there?
Like 20.
Let's find. No, it was more than that. But let's find out. I'll go to the
25. That's my official guess.
I think it was a lot more than that, but yeah.
Well, there were like 8 fighters, so if you count like their friends, that's 25 apiece.
My internet's slow. Hang on a second.
Here, I'm gonna beat you with my iPhone.
I got it. I had to connect to the internet. Hang on.
Attendance. 2,800. Fuck you. I got it.
2,800.
Yeah.
And then look at this. 18 years later, they sell 55,000 seats in Toronto.
Yeah.
The buy rate for UFC 1 on pay-per-view was 86,000. Oh, look at this. Look at that.
Damn, that's a tight guillotine.
That is a tight standing guillotine.
Yeah. I mean, Mike and I disagree about this, and we're gonna bish each other out about it. But I think it's much easier to finish a guillotine with no arm in, because it's so much tighter on the neck. All you have to do, Chris Weidman just demonstrated on TV that all you have to do is reach around the chin, grab, and pull up. Worst case scenario, it's in the neck crank from hell. Whereas with the arm in, you can't really get it tight.
You can get it tight. It's just the fact of like what a lot of people don't. I'm not a jiu-jitsu guy, so I don't know if this is the fact. But what I think it is that if you have a no arm in, that leaves those guys, both their hands are free to do whatever they want to you. You know what I mean? There's a lot you can do with a no arm. I don't know. I would love to have someone who trains jiu-jitsu in here. That'd be great. But
yeah, let's bring on a guest.
Who do we know that trains MMA or jiu-jitsu at least?
I know a dude, but he joined the army, and he was pretty good.
I know a dude, but I think he disappeared.
The fuck?
I don't even know him. Well, I know Nick Jones. Shout out to Nick Jones. He's in the Marines, but one of his good friends, Louis Ocon. I went to high school with him. He's like, I think he's ranked like number 1, 2, or 3 in the world in his weight, in his jiu-jitsu wise, in his age group and shit like that.
Jiu-jitsu's hella fucking competitive.
Believe that?
Yeah.
Well, we just watch all the Weidman fights. Let's start watching Silva fights.
Let's watch Silva Belfort.
How about Silva Griffin?
Okay.
I like Silva Griffin. This is a great fight. I love Forrest Griffin, but
I love Forrest Griffin too, and it pains me to watch him get his ass kicked by Anderson Silva. At this point in this fight, we can watch Silva clearly knows how to manipulate time and space. Has anyone here seen Looper? Anderson Silva can do Looper.
What are you talking about?
Look, watch this fight. He clearly teleports through time and space.
Would you stop
Anderson Silva can manipulate space-time. I think that's true.
Then why are you picking Weidman to win?
Because Weidman's American.
Oh, look at this.
And Americans can manipulate nuclear
Roger
weapons. Gracie
on Chris Weidman. He could tap anyone, even me.
What?
Roger Gracie.
But his name's Gracie. I think that makes him immune to submissions.
Do you know who Roger Gracie is?
He's in the Gracie family.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know. That means that like when he was 1, that's when he learned how to do an armbar. You know?
Is there anything else?
All right, I'm starting to taste the muffin aspect of the blueberry muffin.
Right.
Yeah. This is blueberry muffin hookah. Who would have thought, right?
3 fights set for UFC on Fox Sports 1-3. Oh, we got.
They need to get a better naming convention for those Fox Sports 1 cards, because fucking Fox Sports 1-2, Fox Sports 1-3. It's like, what if they get to like 13? How are you going to differentiate? That's confusing.
That's true. Well, here we go. We got this is in Brazil. We got Joseph Benavidez versus what's his name? Formega. What's his first name? Junior Formega. Remember, John Dodson knocked him out. Then we got Glover Teixeira and Ryan Bader. That makes sense. Because that fight was scheduled. And then we got
That's going to be a good fight.
Yushin Okami, Jacare Souza.
Jacare?
You know Jacare?
I don't know who Jacare is.
Jacare Souza. He's a Strike Force
It's a fucking good name.
Oh my god. Mirko Krokop to rematch Alexander Emelianenko in the fall. I thought Mirko retired. That's weird. Berkman not returning to UFC. Good.
Look at the little sad face they put up for that one. He's like,
He doesn't want to though. It's his choice. He chose not to.
No.
He's saying he's loyal to
To what?
To World Series of Fighting.
But no one watches that.
Yeah, it's getting there.
I'm loyal to this podcast. No one watches it.
6 fighters removed from UFC website.
What?
Who got cut? Eddie Mendez. Hi guys.
Doggies.
Get out, guys. These are my dogs. We have the hookah right here. You guys look out. Watch out, guys.
You're on my house.
I got you. Those are my dogs,
Doggies.
Lita and Peppa.
Move it up, Buddha.
So we got.
Get out of the room.
And did you watch the Fuel TV card where Verdum fought Nogueira?
No, I don't get Fuel TV.
Me either, but yeah. Eddie Mendez, he fought Daniel Sarafian. He got cut. Roger Hollett, Matt Hamill. That was Matt Hamill when he returned.
Oh.
So that's who Matt Hamill fought. He got cut.
I want Fuel TV more than Chris Brown wants to hurt people.
Well, you know what's gonna be cool is Fuel TV is gonna go away after the Fox Sports comes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we're all gonna get Fox Sports. Thank God. Carlos Vamola.
I was watching a promo for Fox Sports 1,
Uh-huh.
and they intersplice clips of Jackie Robinson, Robert Griffin, and Ronda Rousey, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited. They're like making history that had Jackie Robinson and Ronda Rousey, and I'm like,
Were they fighting?
no.
Oh, okay.
Well, Ronda Rousey would beat the shit out of Jackie Robinson.
I think
Ronda Rousey
could beat Eddie. I think
Ronda Rousey's my number 1 pound for pound in the world.
I think Ronda Rousey
you know
could
what?
beat John Jones.
Yeah, I think Ronda Rousey's my number 1 in general. I think Rousey Jones goes for spinning back elbow, armbar.
Yeah.
Fucking fights Kane.
Ha.
Fucking Kane does his do 5 rounds of being kick ass, and Rousey's like, you know what I'm gonna do? Armbar right away.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey.
She's like an uncoordinated kid on a bicycle. She's an arm breaking machine.
Ronda Rousey's the real deal. I think we all are aware of that. Ronda Rousey's. I love Ronda Rousey, dude. Fucking,
She's a 10 in every category.
I went to the Fox Sports. I went to the Fox card in San Jose, and Ronda Rousey was there, and I screamed like a little girl at a Justin Bieber concert, and she waved to me. Oh my god.
Never need porn again.
Yeah, it was so awesome. I felt I just crossed something off my bucket list for that one. It was just like, oh my god, Ronda Rousey just acknowledged me, dude.
She knows you exist, at least on some level. I mean, she probably forgot.
I'm sure
maybe she didn't.
I'm sure she
Hold on to that hope, Mike.
What if she's thinking like, I wish I could meet that guy again? Yeah, right.
Who the fuck would ever be like, you know that guy at the UFC event who screamed at me? And
Which one, dude? There's like a million of them too.
But that one in the jacket with the beard, the big guy. For a future reference, Mike's fat and I'm big boned. So
I'm not fat. I mean, I'm just like You know.
It's funnier when you're fat.
Yeah.
All right.
What's up? Well, we're kind of recording right now.
Yeah.
Come here. Come here. No, come here, Mom. Mom, come here. Mom.
I'm Michael's mother.
Yeah. My mom likes UFC too, but she doesn't like people. I guess.
Yeah.
I think we're done here.
All right. Thanks for sticking with us, all of you who stuck with us, which is currently 2 people, me and Mike. But
Well,
we're hoping to get it 3 when we make one of our friends listen to this.
I hope if you guys listen to this, I hope you guys give us some shout outs. And you know what? We'd love to have guests too. If you guys are knowledgeable, maybe we could work something out.
Live in the San Mateo area.
Well, no, not necessarily. We could take phone calls.
Dude, phones. It's like
That'd be awesome. We take phone calls.
Yeah, dude, let's take phone calls.
You guys,
especially if you don't live in the San Mateo area.
Just anything. We'll take phone calls. That would be dope. I'll just post my number up.
Yeah.
And then people will start calling me and giving their...
Dana White, if you're listening to this, we would love to have you on, but you're going to have to make it worth our time.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
well, thank you guys for listening, and we'll hope we are the Ultimate Feuding Championship. I'm Michael.
I'm Daniel.
And we hope we talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.